Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is the ice cream. This is my ice cream for the Formula 1 Australia Grand Prix 2024 review. Obviously, the review of the Australian Grand Prix, where we saw something quite unusual. We actually saw Max Verstappen. We actually saw something wrong with Red Bull's car in this race. Max Verstappen suffering a DNF. And a driver of the day performance from the smooth operator himself, Carlos Sainz, recovering from the appendix surgery. Carlos Sainz, by the way, who I said in my preview, I wasn't really convinced that his appendix surgery, he'll do well in qualifying, but I did worry for him in the race. Yeah, Carlos Sainz, but round of applause, everyone. Round of applause for Carlos Sainz. Albeit, it was a Max Verstappen DNF. If Max Verstappen didn't DNF, then Max Verstappen may have probably won. But Carlos Sainz, fair play to him, trial of the day performance. And if anything, when Max Verstappen did DNF, Carlos Sainz actually overtook Max Verstappen after two laps. I'm gonna say it now. I think Ferrari have gotten rid of the one driver, in my opinion. And people don't be like, oh, here we go, Charles Leclerc agenda again. No, it's not an agenda, but Carlos Sainz, how many times has he proven it that he is a better race driver than Charles Leclerc? Better race driver than Charles Leclerc. But we do now, but these are the full results, so still a great weekend for once for Ferrari, a great weekend for once. They've obviously had a great past record in Australia before having the Ferrari back in 2022, especially. So Ferrari 1-2, and Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. So fantastic weekend for Ferrari, a fantastic weekend for once for Ferrari. Nothing done wrong in terms of strategies, etc. And Ferrari, they can't complain. Charles Leclerc, for me, again, there needs to be a criticism on Charles Leclerc, not for the race, for qualifying, where Charles Leclerc backed off, didn't he? He backed off when he was on the lap in qualifying 3. If he would have qualified more higher, then he might have actually had a chance of winning the race. But still a good weekend for both drivers. And a very good weekend for McLaren. Not that for McLaren, Lando Norris finished in 3rd, Oscar Piastri finished in 4th. Oscar Piastri just missing out on the podium. Had to swap places with Lando Norris, which would have been painful for Oscar Piastri in his home race. So a very delightful weekend for McLaren, 3rd and 4th. Very good for them. Very good weekend. Obviously, very disappointing weekend for Red Bull with Max Verstappen DNF on the right rear. A brake issue as well. Small torn out of his right rear as well, causing car problem. I'm not celebrating. I'm not like these stupid people who have a agenda against Max Verstappen, like Matt Dyer on this fucking shitty channel, on his channel, what's it called, P1 channel, wherever it is. Pretty Matt Dyer, fucking, I can't stand him, honestly. He's the biggest Charles Leclerc fan out there, and honestly, he never criticises him at all. He's just like, it's the team's fault, it's the car's fault. No, Charles Leclerc is just a shit driver. That's why it is. Charles Leclerc, he's not all that as a driver. Simple as that. And Carlos Sainz, how many times has Carlos Sainz proved that he's a better race driver than Charles Leclerc? Simple as that. But the absolute state of Matt Dyer, the absolute state of him when the issue with Max Verstappen was happening, Oh my days. He, he's actually unbearable. He actually is unbearable. He does it for kids. He does it for fools, thinking he knows stuff when he actually doesn't. All he knows about is having his dildo of Charles Kurt's backside, and Ferrari's backside actually. And obviously it's not just him. You see other fans fucking jumping the bouncy castle when Max Verstappen does a DNF. People cheering when he does a DNF. Come on, you're pathetic. You're pathetic, honestly. I understand, obviously, shout out to Full Time Sports Network, Bobby, done so to his channel. Obviously, he doesn't like Max Verstappen, simple as that, so he'll be cheering as well. He'll be cheering, but I don't have a problem with him. But it's just when others take it too far, saying, pretty jumping and bouncy castle, saying, like Max Verstappen has lost the title or something like that, when he hasn't. Max Verstappen still didn't win. Max Verstappen didn't win the title with at ease. Sorry to disappoint everyone. I said this at the start of the season. There will be a few races where Red Bull won't have joy in my opinion. And it seems to happen in this race, hasn't it? It seems to happen in this race, but Max Verstappen still doesn't dominate the Driver Championship. Red Bull still doesn't dominate the constructors as well. So don't get your hopes up, people. Don't get your hopes up. And yeah, it's back-to-back DNFs for Red Bull. When we go to Japan in 2 weeks' time, then all of a sudden things might change. But very disappointing for Max Verstappen, but it happens, doesn't it? I mean, something was about to happen to that unstoppable car, let's be real. Something was about to happen. It happens, people. Something was about to happen to that unstoppable Red Bull. So, Max Verstappen can keep his head up. He'll have the last lap at the end of the season, won't he? He'll have the last lap at the end of the season when he wins yet another world title, Max Verstappen, at dominant ease, and Red Bull win another constructors. So, very disappointing weekend for Red Bull. Sergio Perez finished in 5th. He could have finished higher, Sergio Perez. I think Sergio Perez could have finished higher. There was one point where he was the quickest car on the track, but it just didn't work out after that, which is quite strange. So, a bad weekend for Mercedes. Well, a weekend of struggles for Mercedes. George Russell. Well, Lewis Hamilton suffered a DNF early before George Russell's DNF. Lewis Hamilton, another tire problem for Lewis Hamilton. But Lewis Hamilton does need to be criticised for his qualifying performance instead of PMing the team. Well, how comes George Russell's happy with qualifying 7th, and Lewis Hamilton always PMs everyone else apart from himself? That's Lewis Hamilton for you. All day long. That's why I don't like Lewis Hamilton at all, because I'm not a big fan of him at all. Albeit Lewis Hamilton, what he's done on the track in terms of achievements, 7-time world champion, you don't give him credit for that. But I don't like Lewis Hamilton in terms of off the track, in my opinion. I just don't like him off the track. And by the way, that's not to say I like Max Verstappen, by the way. I don't care yet about any driver. I don't care yet. I just do it as a neutral. I'm not these stupid women. Who go for their favourite driver. Who's the most attractive driver? Wait, that's the women for you in F1. They know nothing. In F1. You got that Naomi as a pundit. She's curious. She's absolutely curious. She stutters as well. She stutters when she does. She talks a lot of waffle. Stick to the women's series in F1, honestly. Well, the women's Formula series. That's when she's got more knowledge. She's got no knowledge of the men in F1. She hasn't. Oh, it's unbearable. I'm sorry, people. I don't want to talk about women punchery again, but women in F1, the women punchery in F1 is absolutely shocking. It's absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. It's not me being sexist, but I'm sorry, you don't have the men who know what they're talking about. The women, I'm sorry, even the women when the women in pundits, they have no clue. They have no clue what they're talking about. Okay, I ignore Bernie Collins. That's an exception because Bernie Collins has worked as a strategist in F1, so obviously keep her in. But Naomi, what the hell has she done? What the hell has she done to be a pundit? Stick to the women's series, seriously. But yeah, that's a bit of a rampage anyway. It's a bit of a rampage for me. Disappointing weekend for Lewis Hamilton, but no doubt he'll play in the team and won't play himself, as always. But obviously he can't do anything about the DNF. It's not really Hamilton's fault, let's be real. But at the same time, Hamilton is driving the car, so. But yeah, it was more of a car problem really than Lewis Hamilton's fault. And George Russell, once again, George Russell is the PM for me. Fernando Alonso got demoted to P8 at the end of the race after he was P6. Fernando Alonso with a 20-second penalty for apparently causing George Russell to crash on the final lap when he actually didn't. George Russell should learn how to drive, in my opinion. George Russell should learn how to drive and how to brake in the corner. Because George Russell was so desperate. Once again, it was like Singapore for George Russell. Singapore last year, where George Russell, desperation on the final lap, and chaos happens for him. Absolute carnage happens for him. It's because Fernando Alonso pretty pork in the corner, didn't he? He porked in the corner, which was the right thing. George Russell, he should have porked as well. Porked in the corner. But no, George Russell, full speed, turning into the corner, cost George Russell. And it's absolutely abysmal from the FIA and F1 to give Fernando Alonso a 20-second penalty for that. Absolutely. Have we all bumped our heads or something? Have we all bumped our heads? And there we go, people. I do criticise the FIA as well. I do criticise the FIA because I get accused of saying, oh, you have a agenda against Lewis Hamilton. No, I have an agenda against the FIA, actually. I have an agenda against the FIA. And this is 2 years in a row now. This is 2 years in a row where the FIA got involved with Fernando Alonso result. Yeah, Saudi Arabia last year, and now it's Australia this year. It's shocking. It's a shocking decision to even give Alonso a penalty. When George Russell actually admitted it, George Russell even said straight away, my error, my fault. Oh, honest to God, absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal to give Fernando Alonso a penalty. It really is. But in terms of overall, very disappointing from Mercedes as Mercedes struggles continue. And Mercedes a very disappointing race. As George Russell, especially, George Russell should have a hard look at himself for that final lap because you don't expect better from George Russell. You don't expect better. I can't believe Alonso was given a penalty for that. That is one of the worst ever decisions in F1. How can you give Alonso a penalty for that? When it's all George Russell's fault for being too desperate. Bloody full speed, turning in the corner without braking. It's just shocking, really is. But yeah, shocking weekend for Mercedes. In terms of Aston Martin, overall, I would say a good weekend for Aston Martin. Good solid weekend for them. Could have been better if Fernando Alonso took hold of his 6th place instead of the FIA. chopping him down 2 places, giving him a 20-second penalty, which Alonso shouldn't have got a penalty for, in my opinion. So, yeah, good solid weekend for Aston Martin. It's one of them, isn't it? That's where they expect to be. Aston Martin. Yuki Tsunoda, I tell you what, he's proven me one. He is proving me one, Yuki Tsunoda. Qualifying in P7. Finishing in P7, sorry. Yuki Tsunoda. And in my trial predictions, I had Daniel Ricciardo staying at VSRB. But I tell you what, I think Yuki Tsunoda at the moment, he deserves to keep his place. He's had a good start, to be fair. Yuki Tsunoda to start the season. For once, Yuki Tsunoda is not a car crash for once, because I always call him a car crash Tsunoda, because that's what he is. But I tell you what, at the moment he's had a brilliant start to the season. Face tats at RB, Yuki Tsunoda. So good weekend for him. Daniel Ricciardo finishing 12th. Better than his qualifying performance. Obviously, qualifying he struggled, Daniel Ricciardo. A bit better in the race, Daniel Ricciardo, but couldn't get the points in his home race. Haas, you'd all look at Haas, 9th and 10th, Haas in the points again. Both Haas drivers are in the points, Nico Hülkenberg and Ted Magnussen. And I keep on saying that it's a huge coincidence now Haas seems to be doing well. After Dunter Steiner, obviously Dunter Steiner leaving, and you just wonder. It's always the question that needs to be answered. Was Dunter Steiner actually the problem at Haas? But yeah, again, a good start to the season for Haas as well. Hulkenberg and Magnussen then the points. A very good weekend for them. And if I was to say who are the team of the weekend, I'll probably say Haas for me. You have to say Haas is probably the team of the weekend, and Carlos Sainz is obviously definitely the driver of the day in terms of obviously just coming back from appendix surgery, and he pretty wins the way. It's unbelievable from Carlos Sainz. Albeit it was a Max Verstappen DNF, you do have to add that as well. But Alex Albon just missing out on the points. Obviously, you know my situation. Obviously, you know my opinion on Alex Albon being the only driver for Williams this weekend. For me, that should be Gordon Sargent, in my opinion, not Alex Albon. But I've had my opinion on that. It just shows teams always have that driver as priority. And but Alex Albon, I say a good race. I would say it was a good race for him. Just missed out on the points. Ted Magnussen with that crucial overtake on Alex Albon to get in the points. Otherwise, Alex Albon would get the points. Perdazzi, very good. You know what? For where Alpine are at the moment, a very good race for Perdazzi. I know Alpine in past seasons have been better than that. But with where Alpine are at the moment, a very good race for Perdazzi. As for Esteban Ocon, yeah, not a good race for Esteban Ocon, unfortunately for him. But for Perdazzi, it's definitely a very good race for Perdazzi for where Alpine are at the moment. Even though it's not in the points, it's still a very good weekend for Alpine. And Sauber is as you expect, really. It's like a meh. It's like a meh for Sauber. 14 and 15, where you expect them to be, really. And that's really the full classification. It's what about the certain situations as well. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know. All these fans are really pathetic, really, in terms of Max Verstappen, DNF. Everyone cheering and pretty jumping on the bouncy castle. People are just pathetic, honestly. It's not Max Verstappen's fault, was it? It wasn't Max Verstappen's fault. It goes back to 2021 again. Why we keep these fans that keep giving the pats about the F1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Well, no, Lewis Hamilton should have pitted earlier, shouldn't he? So Lewis Hamilton actually lost the title for himself, in my opinion. I will say it right now. And people be like, oh, you don't have Hamilton agenda. But no, Hamilton, why are we going back to 2021 in Abu Dhabi? It's just pathetic now. It's done. It's done, people. It's done. What's Lewis Hamilton going to do? Is he going to do another Felipe Massa fucking in 10 years' time? Or I want money for the money I lost in 2021. Seriously, people, just shut up, honestly. Stop giving the pats. Max Verstappen. And people are cheering about Max Verstappen's DNF because Max Verstappen is actually unstoppable. He's unstoppable. He's absolutely brilliant in terms of his driving ability, Max Verstappen. I've always said Max Verstappen, for me, is Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher combined. He has the mindset of Michael Schumacher, Max Verstappen. Do all you can to win. And he has the driving ability of Ayrton Senna. For me, Max Verstappen. So, but people are just pathetic, honestly, in terms of their agenda against Max Verstappen and Red Bull. Even though, I've said it for years, even though I don't like Lewis Hamilton, I actually still give him credit and praise for the titles he has won. So I don't want people coming at me saying, "Oh, you have the Hamilton agenda." Lewis Hamilton on track, yeah, nothing wrong with Lewis Hamilton on track. I give him all the credit in the world. But in terms of off the track, I have a different opinion of Lewis Hamilton in terms of off the track. So, but yeah, that's the full classification. So what does that mean then for the driver standings and the constructors? Max Verstappen is in first with 51 points. The Dapaz Clausen, Charles Leclerc is in second with 47. Sergio Perez in third with 46. Carlos Sainz in fourth with 40. Good points for McLaren, as McLaren are now fifth and sixth with Piastri and Norris. Russell in seventh. Alonso at eighth. Lance Stroll is in ninth. Lewis Hamilton in 10th. Ollie Berman obviously in 11th for his performance in Saudi Arabia. Obviously covering for Carlos Sainz when Sainz had that appendix surgery. Tsunoda, more points for Tsunoda as he looks to close on that top 10 in the drive standings. Nico Hulkenberg and Ken Magnussen with the points with 13 and 14. While Alex Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon, Perdazzi, Valtteri Bottas and Logan Sargent all yet to score points in this F1 season. The constructor standings, Red Bull are on 97 points, Ferrari on 93, but it's still early in this F1 season. McLaren on 55, Aston Martin in 4th and 27, Mercedes in 5th with 26, RB Honda of these tasks at RB with 6 points, Haas in 7th with 4 points, while Williams, Sauber and Alpine still yet to score points in this F1 season. And yeah, still early in the season, people. Before people get carried away about Max Verstappen and Red Bull having problems this weekend. Still early in the season, and obviously it's basically another home of Red Bull in the next race in terms of Japan Suzuka. Obviously Honda that provides the engines for Red Bull, and these cars at RB. It's basically a home race with them two teams, so that's where I expect Red Bull to bounce back and Max Verstappen to bounce back in that Grand Prix, in my opinion. So nothing's changed in my opinion. Red Bull are still going to dominate this season, and Max Verstappen is still going to dominate the Drivers' Championship as well. So don't get carried away, people, in terms of this Australian Grand Prix. Yes, it is nice. I will admit though, it is nice to see someone else winning that is not Red Bull. But for me, it's always been Carlos Sainz. For me, it's always been Carlos Sainz. If there is going to be a different winner, that is not Red Bull. It's always Carlos Sainz for me. And maybe Charles Leclerc, depending, because he's a boss of chocolates in terms of Charles Leclerc, isn't he? He's a boss of chocolates for me. But I just don't think that inconsistency from Charles Leclerc is good enough, in my opinion, for a top team like Ferrari. I think Charles Leclerc is probably below the top teams, in my opinion, below top teams level. I think Charles Leclerc will probably be good at either McLaren or Aston Martin. I've always said it for years. And I honestly think Ferrari are getting rid of the one driver. I honestly do believe that. I actually think Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton for next year. I tell you what, if that was the partnership next year at Ferrari, I actually would give Ferrari a huge chance in terms of the titles. But Hamilton and Leclerc as teammates, it's a car crash waiting to happen, in my opinion. Two egos in the paddock. Both want to be number one driver. I honestly think Carlos Sainz would actually accept being number two to Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. I just think Ferrari are just missing out on something there. I really do think that. But that's Ferrari's loss, in my opinion. Carlos Sainz, fair play to him. Carlos Sainz is definitely... We look at Carlos Sainz, he finished third in the first race of the season. Obviously, he had an appendix in terms of, obviously, he missed out on Saudi Arabia Grand Prix due to appendix surgery. And he wins the race in Australia. So it's not been spoken about enough in terms of Carlos Sainz starts the season. And he's putting his name out there. And he's probably the hottest property out there, Carlos Sainz, in terms of like who to go for, who to sign in 2025. Carlos Sainz is definitely number one on the list on who to sign. If you're a top team like Red Bull or Mercedes, Carlos Sainz is the one to go for, definitely. Or even Aston Martin, depending on Fernando Alonso's future as well. So, but yeah, that is my F1 that is my Formula 1 Australian Formula 3 review. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Take care, stay safe. What were your thoughts on the race down below and the weekend down below in the comments? As the smooth operator Carlos Sainz wins the Australian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen suffering the DNF, which ends Max Verstappen's mission to try and win 10 races in a row. As George Russell crashes out in the final lap. So, a very traumatic Australian Grand Prix. So, feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you all for my bottom review, which will come straight after this.